Hello and welcome to Talk a Good Game. It's just finished. Swansea City 1, West Ham United 4. A Boxing Day treat for us Hammers as West Ham right there. We were the only team in the Premier League not to have scored 3 goals in the Premier League this season. Well, we've just smashed it over at Liberty Stadium. Got a special guest with me today. I've got Nicky from West Ham Fan TV. You'll all recognise him anyway. Nicky, are you a happy Hammer?
Over the moon with that. Just what we needed.
Bilic made a few changes, 2 changes. Obiang was obviously forced, but he went back to his 4 at the back. Nordvik right back, Czechia centre midfield. Right calls?
Yeah, definitely. I must say this: I'm an avid criticiser of Nordvik. I thought he was excellent today. I thought he fitted into that right back slot brilliantly. Quixote in the middle, I think we miss him. If Obiang was there as well, I think it would have been even more comfortable. I still think Noble slows the play down, but you can't fault anyone today. That was one criticism. If I have one criticism, I think Noble got caught on the ball a few times. Let him into the game a little bit at times. Wasn't really a good enough quality to finish their chances. But apart from that, mate, we was excellent all over the field.
Yeah, there was a lot of bits and pieces going on, and then although Noble did get caught on the ball, it was him that played the simple long ball. He just picked up to the back post for Carroll, knocked down, Czech got his foot on it. Poor keeping by Fabianski. We'll come on to that. And then there was Andre Ayew to get his first goal for West Ham. A simple tap in. But do you think that's maybe what we've been missing this season, Nicky? Just someone to stand there in the right position at the right time.
Yeah, the thing is that nobody mentioned Quixote in rolling that goal in the first goal today. Carroll won a header, but it was the burst forward by Czech to get forward and really like give the keeper something to think about. No player there having to hassle the defender. The keeper just collects that. It's just someone there to make the keeper have a think about that. But yeah, it all come together today. The play at times was great. It just seemed to come together. We've been a little bit unlucky at times this season, but things like that, our luck maybe just changed. Someone there to just tap in the simple goals. We haven't had that all season, and Ayew done brilliantly, I think.
Do you think in the first half? I thought in the first half we were doing really well to get bodies in the box. Quite often it was wide. There was Antonio, Ayew, Carroll, Czechia was joining in for the change. For the first time this season, I thought actually we're starting to commit people into that 18-yarder very quickly.
Yeah, I think that's what's been missing as well. I think the formation gives an extra man to go forward as well, because you're not got so many people at the back. I mean, 5-3-2. It's difficult for the wingers to get into them positions, and that's what playing 4 and 2 natural wingers gives you. It gives you that chance to to commit that 1 forward, because there's always cover there. It's been too negative, the play recently. Burnley and Hull at home, playing 3 at the back. It was a false change today. We would have gone 5 at the back, but it's proved to become important. And it's just shown us what we can do when we've got all guns blazing,
Well, there's bits and pieces for both teams after West Ham took the lead. The highlight of the first half, apart from the goal, was Darren Randall's save from Sigurdsson's free kick. And then West Ham, but we'll talk about Randall towards the end, because that wasn't the only top save he made. We're in at half-time, 1-0 up, and we didn't have to wait long. Were you worried at half-time, Nicky, that when you think of Hull, you think of Burnley, we scored and we ran all the way back to our 18-yarder and just sat in it? Were you worried that we were going to do the same again today?
No, I wasn't too worried that we would do that, because I thought we was positive. We're more positive than against any of those sides that we beat there. We was taking a game to them, and even though they had their chances as well, I felt that if we put any more pressure on them, they would crack, which proved to be right. And I wasn't worried. The only thing I was worried about was an early goal. We're notoriously slow starters in the second half of games. Well, in both half of games, actually. And I thought to myself, if they come out and they get that second goal, because we started slow in the first half. That first 10 minutes, we didn't come out of their half. They were putting pressure on. And I thought to myself, if we start the second half as we start the first, and they get a goal back, it'll give them a great boost. And, they're more likely to win this game than us. But we didn't. We held tight. And we got our just rewards, really, because it was Reid, wasn't it? Second goal.
Yeah, West Ham have won 5 games this season. All have been 1-0, so you would be forgiven for thinking that this was going to be another one. But as Nicky said, they're 2-0. Winston Reid, Dimitri Payet free kick, finally beat the first man. Bang, Winston Reid got his head on it, went in 2-0 up. It was almost too easy, though, wasn't it, that goal?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Swansea are in. I mean, I saw them at the bowling last year. You know, they was the last team to beat us at bowling last year by the same scoreline, and they were very good on the attack. Their attacking play is okay, but their defensive play is it's upsetting to watch. You know, a team like that, because we've been bad defensively, and when you see a team like that, they are just all over the shop. They had 2 defenders there in good positions to head the ball away, and he got in between the pair of them and outmuscled the 2 players, and that shouldn't happen in any football side, let alone a top flight football side.
Well, West Ham, until before today, West Ham had scored, I think, 70% of their goals from set pieces, and we got another one today. But both teams had bits and pieces. Then Andre Ayew went off to chorus of boos from the home side and a stand ovation from the away side. But what did you make of Andre's performance today, Nicky's best you've seen him in a West Ham shirt?
Yeah, he was lively today. He was always going to be up for it, former side. You know, boos seem to spur some players on. He didn't leave there under the best circumstances after one season, you know. But he did make Swansea a lot of money. But, you know, when you see what they've got left in terms of quality, you can understand why they would be upset that a player of his, you know, of his quality would leave. But in terms of, as for us, yeah, it was the best we've seen him play. And, you know, I think that will kick him on now in a West Ham shirt. But lo and behold, what's coming up in the next few weeks? The African Cup of Nations. So just as he's going to start to, I think, find his feet in a West Ham shirt, he's going to be off again with some very important players of ours. And that's why it's important for us to get, you know, some good signings in January, because
Yeah, Andre Ayew for me was the best player in the first half for West Ham. I thought he was fantastic. He was getting close to Carroll. This is what we've been missing against Burnley and Hull. If a lot of West Ham fans would say, why are we not playing him right next to Andy Carroll? Let Carroll win it and have someone there. Today we had that. But I thought Bilic seemed to do something different with Ayew and Antonio. They were both really close to Carroll. I thought all 3 of them were interchanging quite a lot as well, actually. Quite often one of them would be the striker and Carroll's working his nuts off to go and cover Antonio or Ayew, whoever had gone forward. And them 3 really impressed me today. But I thought Ayew was key in the 3 of them working, if that makes sense. I think he was the main man there. But we made it 3-0. And Antonio goal, fantastic work for Fernandez, who came on from Ayew at the edge of the box and touchline. Had a shot, an ambitious shot, decent enough save by Fabianski. Got distance on it. Nordveit, the shot was going well wide. Antonio is in the middle of the 18-yarder, all alone, with a radius of about 5 yards around him, just pokes in the empty net. That is what gets you relegated.
yeah, I mean that's what I was saying. Very, very poor defending. Somebody on the corner flag strolling out. Why there's someone standing on the you know, no communication. You know, it doesn't matter to me. Swansea, they could go down, they could stay in the league. It doesn't matter to me. It's a 3rd goal for us. But when you look at the quality of the defending, that is poor. That is poor. That is really poor. But good finish. And, you know, it does still take, because he thought he was offside. You know, he couldn't believe his luck himself. So you've got to sweep that into the net. You know, it'd be easier to switch off if you think you're offside and just blast it wide or blast it over. But no, he swept it into the net, and, you know, I don't think he could believe his own luck. You know, when he turned around and he see Routley walking out. But you know, it's what we need. A big win like that is what we need, I think, to start to kick on and really push up the table. When you think about the points we've got now, 10 points out of the last 12, and that includes a trip to Anfield. The points return is excellent. The 2 performances at home wasn't great, but this performance was a good performance. And I think if we can get one of these at home, you know, in the next game against Man United, a big club, you know, Leicester are still waning. They're not doing too well, even at home. I think a big performance against Man United, and we could really start to push up the table. You look at, you know, they've said we've had a terrible season, and we're 2 points off of West Brom, who they say is having an excellent season now. what a difference a week can make. What a difference, you know, a Christmas period can make.
Yeah, well, 3-0 West Ham, thanks to Antonio. He then departed the field, and on came Figuli. Bilic taking off 2 of his goal scorers, but then it was 3-1 Swansea. Dyer did a nice little bit of work against Noble and Creswell, cut it back. Llorente made it 3-1. Then literally 60 seconds later or something, there ain't no Christmas without Andy Carroll scoring against Swansea. Figuli, fantastic work for Figuli, though. Did that surprise you? Is it good to see Figuli doing that work out there, getting a lovely cross in? That's what Andy Carroll wants. He wants it looped up to the back post. Granted, it wasn't a header, but it was a fantastic finish too.
Really, really good work for Figuli. And you know what? I thought that, you know, the scoreline was comfortable. When they got one back, I wasn't even too nervous about them getting back in it. But you know, against teams like this, these are the teams you want to start bedding in their new signings. You know, Figuli, he hasn't been good. Nordveld hasn't been good. I thought Nordveld had an excellent game. But when you've got someone on the back foot, you know, when we're playing the way, you know, this is one of the only times I've seen us when we really went for it like we did last season. You know, when we're really going for the throw, that's when you want to bed in the new signings. That's when you want them to get a bit more confidence. And it showed him. I thought Figuli towards the end as well. Not only when he hung that up, but you know, there was one where he tried to take on 3 or 4 players, and you know, he was one player off of scoring a great goal. And it just shows, it breeds confidence, that sort of thing, when the team are playing well and they're coming in. You know, it's not really fair to judge these players on, you know, bedding them into a team that have been playing as badly as we have, because, you know, there's only so much you can do. So when you've got someone like Figuli, when you've got someone like Swansea on the ropes, you know, away from home as well, you know, put them players on and really give them some confidence. And I think that would have given them a lot of confidence. That was a great cross. That was a great cross.
Yeah, I have to agree with the transfer thing. I mean, we did a show during the week, and I was saying that the permanent transfers made in the summer, I actually think were quite good. I think it's the loan ones that dragged the window down, and the lack of big striker. I think that's what made summer transfer window overall quite poor. But if you look at the permanent ones, today Nordveit and Ayew both started, both played well. Then coming off the bench, you had Fernandez and Figuli, who both played pretty well when they came off it. And then Fletcher came off. Granted, it was late on. But the point is, we had 5 new players involved today, which is not something we had against Burnley and Hull. We were looking at that thinking, there's no new players involved here at all for a certain reason. So it's good to see the new players coming into the ones that already existed. But
it looks to me like now, Gio, they're starting to settle a little bit. It takes a long time to settle in this league, especially when you're playing badly. And you know, the loan signings have been terrible. But you know, Llorente scored for Swansea again today. That was someone I really wanted us to have a look at in the summer, Llorente, because I think he's an excellent player. He scores for Swansea all the time, even though, you know, they're in the bottom 3 now, I believe. But, you know, he's a ready-made replacement for Carroll when he's not there, isn't he? And he'll always score goals. He's very technically gifted. And I think we should have looked at him, but instead we ended up with Simone.
One position we are supposedly looking at, though, is the goalkeeper. It's probably for next summer. But what about our goalkeeper today, Randolph? I thought he was just absolutely magnificent.
He has been for a few weeks. I think when you hark back to the Liverpool game, there was one save there that was world class. It was a world class save. Henderson hit it in the corner, and he's capable of that. He's an excellent shot stopper, as Adrian is as well. But you know what Randolph gives you is he's no nonsense, and that's what Adrian doesn't give you. There is a lot of nonsense with Adrian, but you know he does his job, does it well. Doesn't seem to make many mistakes. He's made a couple. Adrian's made more. But today he was brilliant. He was excellent, and he's keeping us in games. To be fair,
I have to agree with that. There's some of the top saves. That free kick from Sigurdsson, that save he made from Sigurdsson's free kick. Sigurdsson is one of the best free kick takers in the league, and if Payet scored that, let's say that was for West Ham, Payet had done the exact shot Sigurdsson done, and we would all have been hailing Payet about how world class he is. I think that free kick was really pinpointing to the corner. Superb save. He's two-handed as well. That's why I really like about Randall. Whether he goes with his left or his right hand, he always gets a strong arm to it. Sometimes keepers are better with one arm. Randolph is 2. And for the first time ever, I think, watching West Ham, I've seen us get a goal kick and no ball came to the edge of the box in between the centre backs and took the goal kick off Randall. Amazing! Finally, this is what we want to see. We want to see West Ham playing out from goal kicks, not just booting it down the middle aimlessly, which we've had under Adrian. That's what really annoyed me about Adrian. You've mentioned Nordveit at right back and Keati played well in centre midfield. Does Bilic maybe have a selection headache a little bit now because Obiang will be back, maybe Lanzini back for Leicester? Do you think Bilic might be thinking about finally he's got competition for spaces going by form rather than reputation?
For Leicester, yeah, but as I say, you know, Kyoto will be gone soon as well. So, yeah, get a win against Leicester. I think, you know, they're not playing very well at the moment. But he has got a selection headache there for that game. I would see it personally. I would go for Cech and Obiang. It's a combination that I haven't seen with Noble out the side. I wouldn't bring Lanzini back in straight away. He hasn't been playing great. I think maybe, just maybe, he will go for the same lineup as today. Again, Leicester there for the taking, especially with Vardy out as well. They're not playing very well at the moment, and I think it'll be the same 11. But maybe, just maybe, we'll see Obiang play alongside Cech with Noble coming off, and I think that's the way forward. I think that's the future. To be honest, I don't think that's the now. He's still, obviously, Noble's still our captain, but if we can keep hold of everyone in the summer, that's the future, and I'd like to see that tried out a few times this season.
Yeah, I can be quite critical of Cech and centre midfielder. I have been in the past, but today I thought he was magnificent. The amount of times he won the ball, he ran. And I just thought, you know what, this is what we have been missing. We have been missing him going from A to B really quickly.
The thing why I think his performance was big today is that I think he got a bit complacent in the midfield. His place was never under threat. He started to have some bad games and just being moved back into centre back and being there for a few games. He likes to be forward. He likes to make them bursting runs forward, and obviously playing centre back, that restricts him from doing that. So when he gets his chance to be moved into the centre of midfield, I think he's going to take that all day long. You know, he don't want to go back in that centre half spot. I'll tell you that for nothing.
We've been praising the players for the last 15 minutes or so, but what about the manager? He changed the formation, he made a couple of personnel changes, but his subs as well. His subs were, would you agree, they were spot on the way when he did them?
Yeah, spot on today. Real spot on. I think, you know, hark back to Tottenham and things, you know, the sub there was bemusing, and I think he's learned from that, and ever since then, really, the subs have been quite good. He's very restricted on what he can do. He's starting to get a few players back now, so he's got a few more options. But yeah, everyone that came on, I think, was spot on.
Yeah, same with me. I've got to say well done to Bilic for this one, actually. I mean, he went into the Liverpool game with a lot of pressure on his shoulders. He's got 10 points from 12. Fantastic. It's job done from game to game. We've just got the job done. It's not been beautiful, but today we played pretty football. Off the top of my head, I can't remember us scoring 4 away from home last season in the Premier League, or even at home. I know we did it against Blackburn in the FA Cup. I can't remember us scoring 4 last season. So even though last season was successful, this season we've achieved something different because we went to Swansea last year and drew 0-0 and didn't really go for the win. So, you know, there's plenty of positives to take from today. But do you think it's maybe pressure off Bilic a little bit, Nicky? Time to start replacing fear with flair a little bit more?
Yeah, I do. 11th we sit now. If I read the table correctly before I came on. 8 points away from danger. You know, I said the other day on some of our fan cams that, you know, should we start looking up now? And this win really cemented it. We should start looking up now. Yeah, why not? I mean, it gives, as I said before, it gives a little bit of breathing space. It gives a chance for mistakes to be made without the fear of repercussions, without the fear of costing us, you know, our place in the Premier League. So it'll take the pressure off some of the players' shoulders. You know, maybe leave Lanzini out, maybe bring people up for Gooley and get the points against Leicester, bring people up for Gooley and really give them some confidence, really give them some you know, some proper games. So that's a lot of what our new signings have lacked as well. Our proper side. Fagoli's a very good player. very surprised about how poor he's been this season. But when you look at it, really, he had no game time, and because of the such capitulation in form at the beginning of the season, he's really had no margin for error, sort of thing. So he's had to go with a tried and tested, try and get out of that little rut that we've been in. Now we're out of that. Yeah, just go for it. Go for a bit of flair. Go for a bit of the showboating like last year. Maybe take the pressure off people like Payet's shoulders a little bit. Even if you have to give him a rest for a game. Give him a rest for a game. Let him recuperate. Let him recharge his batteries. We rely on him so much. And yeah, we've got plenty of room for error now. But as long as we don't get complacent, we'll be. I think this is the corner turned now for West Ham.
Well, you've got two happy hammers here. Nicky, think about your man of match. Come back to you for that in a second. But while you're here, make sure you subscribe to our channel. And, of course, I assume you do already, but you haven't already subscribed to West Ham Fan TV, please do. The link's below. Their post-match pint is getting recorded tomorrow, so it'll be up on their channel tomorrow night. So go have a look at that. I will be as well. But, Nicky, well, who impressed you today, and who's your overall man of match?
I'd go... Do you know what I thought was really good? Reid. I thought Winston Reid was excellent. He doesn't put a foot wrong. Them parts at the beginning of the game where it's so important for a team like us to stop the other team from scoring at the beginning of the games, because if we do, we seem to collapse. I think he's excellent. I think he's excellent every week. I think his reading of the game is brilliant. He got himself a goal today. He snuffed out everything that come towards him, more or less. I think Winston Reid was brilliant. And Ayew would be a very close runner-up.
It's Ayew for me. I thought he was vital to the way the system worked. I think if you were to take Ayew out and put him in someone else in there, whether it be Lanzini or Feghouli, I'm not sure it would have worked so fluently. But who knows? We might find out in future, because Ayew will be off to African nations. But let us know what you think watching at home. Who is your man of match? Plenty of contenders, which makes a change. You've got Randolph, even Andy Carroll was impressive. Antonio got a goal. We haven't even really mentioned him much. So you guys at home might have a different opinion. Let us know in the comments below. Come on to our forum at hammerchat.com. We'll be back. Both channels will have our Leicester preview coming up for you, and then we'll have our Leicester review as well. But Nicky, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having us, mate.
No problem at all. And thank you for joining us as well. And we'll be back with our Leicester preview on Wednesday night. Thank you for watching.